Stirring the coffee with chopsticks, using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee at the molecular level. Good Monday morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, coffee. Ooh, I think I made a nice blend there. That's Ethiopian, Guatemalan, the Mexican Chiapas together. I usually put 6 scoops in my grinder, my little hand grinder that I have. And I put 2 of each in there. And then in the French press. What a magnificent flavor this is. How perfect. The girls don't seem to care what's on, as long as it plays till dawn. Nothing but blues and Elvis, and somebody else's favorite song. Steely Dan, 1977. Coffee is my muse, and you'll see why in a couple seconds. Let's go crash that party down in Normaltown tonight, the B-52s, 1990. Never sleep with your muse. Everything changes at that point if you do. That's why you need a muse that's going to remain consistent. For me, the muse is this. My muse used to be the woman in my life. Can't do that, because then your inspiration goes up and down with that relationship. Muses are meant to inspire you, not control you, and you can't help but having a roller coaster of a ride if your muse is in and out and someone who's not consistent and has emotions. Coffee has no emotions. If coffee could speak, it would say, wake up and create. That's what I love about my coffee. That's why I say coffee is my muse. If someone can ruin your life with one phone call, you should, and I took a poll, 69% said be independent of them. 31% said try to get to know them. I think I agree with the majority there. Get away from them. You don't need anyone that can just pick up the phone and ruin your life with a phone call somewhere, somehow. Not good. Part of being an effective man is to maintain frame in life. Sharing too much of your faults is nothing but survivor bias. I did it, or if I can do it, you can do it. It will have a paradoxical effect, and many will lose respect for you. You feel like you have to share gory details of your slip-ups, maybe cheating, vices, etc. Don't. Maybe a trusted few. That's okay. Publicly, zip it. I would question why you feel the need to divulge anything. You can be honest, but honesty is not required for your relationship with the public. If you're tweeting, if you're writing, if you have a business. Transparency is, you can be honest without being transparent. People don't need to know certain things. It's very popular in the recovery world, and it's somewhat effective when it comes to recovery, but everyone knows that when you go to a 12-step meeting of whatever type it is, any kind of recovery, one of the rules, it's kind of like one of the rules of Fight Club. You don't talk, what goes on in this meeting doesn't get talked about outside. And it's a very safe environment. And if somebody blows that rule, they're done. But you are not defined by recovery or what you no longer do. Hi, my name is George. I don't do this anymore. I don't do A, B, C, or X, Y, Z. That's the part of the recovery world that I don't like. Getting rewarded for what you don't do over a long period. Like in the beginning, that's a big deal. Absolutely, it's a very big deal. And I think it's powerful. But when someone says, I haven't done this for 10 years, 5 years, I'd say during the first few months, which is the hardest, first round of holidays, first round of whatever, that's important. But I would rather see people seek out things like rational recovery, and I'll talk about rational recovery. That's just my personal thing, and I'm not judging. I would much rather, my personal choice, I'm not recovering from anything, and bless you guys that are in recovery or whatever you're recovering from, but I worked in that field for a long time. Tactical laundry soap. What I did was I took a bar of tactical soap, the pheromone soap, shredded it up fine, put a few tablespoons of baking soda in the shredded material so it doesn't clump, and now I use 1 scoop of the tactical laundry soap in with my, like a scoop, more like a tablespoon. It's like a coffee scoop. And I use that in with my laundry. I'll put a link for everything down below. Get your clothes smelling that way. Top coat, top hat. I don't worry because my wallet's fat. ZZ Top, 1983. Go carnivore or mostly meat. Poop every other day, 1 wipe, and you're done. You go plant-based, you poop 3 times a day, be bloated, fart like nuclear war launch codes, wipe 9 times and still not be clean, so you have to say screw it and jump in the shower so you don't smell like ass all day. Boy, that plant-based life is just something. Just do everything. Learn how to paint and have all of your paintings on the walls in your house, not everyone else's paintings. They don't have to be good. They just have to be yours. The most listened to album in my lifetime probably is the album called Fragile by Yes. The most worn track on the album, Roundabout. Tell your audiophile this. Weirdos unite. Life is so much better when the weirdo stops trying to be like everyone else. Do you have a strange personality or quirks in your life? Do you enjoy solitude? Do you feel like you don't fit in? Don't worry, let that be your primary strength. You can fit in and socialize when you have to. You can turn that on. It's not being antisocial, it's being asocial. Don't worry if you are a little bit weird or have some weird things about you. There's nothing wrong with that. The pic that you swiped right on was taken by the last guy who swiped right. Don't doubt me on that. And responsibility is accepting that you are the cause and the solution. Extreme responsibility. What role did you play in X? And many times that's a hard study. How did you play a role in the loss of your job, in the demise of your marriage, or the last relationship? If you start thinking, and I'm not talking about having a persecution complex where everything is your fault, but taking extreme responsibility really is exploring what role did you play in even setting up the circumstances? Even setting up the circumstances that created the situation. If you don't take extreme responsibility for everything, then guess what happens? When that thing happens, you're going to be looking to others for solutions, and the solution is within you. Create your own life. That way, if something goes wrong, the solution is just within an arm's reach. It's there for you because you know all the players. If you allow too many players and too many variables and too many factors, external factors into the game, then what happens is you have no control over these things. And you're winging it all the time. There's no reason for that. Much of it has to do with maturity, but there are people that are 40, 50, and 60 years old who are just really messing up. And it's never too late to get your crap together. Never too late. And with that, I'm going to say finish your coffee. And weirdos, unite. You have something that the rest of the world doesn't have. You're different. You knew it from a young age. I used to say, when the army of average gets a fire lit under them, they become unstoppable. Nothing wrong with being average. Add a little bit of uniqueness, a little weirdness to that. You're going to make money. You will have a nice group of acquaintances. Friends, you'll have few. Acquaintances, you'll have many. And as far as your social life is concerned, you can turn that on and turn it off. But your default state of being is alone, solitude, thinking, reading, no noise, no TV, no radio, only when you want it on, but you don't need it on. Finish that coffee, will you? And I will see you tomorrow morning.